What's going on? This is Ty Morrow, here today to talk about a couple of my signature products, specifically my Eclat bars and tires, and kind of a little bit of insight to the design process on them. When it comes to the overall feel of your bike, I think that tires and bars are probably the most important parts, because obviously you're rolling on your wheels the whole time and you're holding your bars. So when I first started riding for Eclat, I was originally riding the Fireball tire, and I really like the feel of that tire. Like has like a really good sticky compound, and kind of has like the extra bead on the sidewall for grind protection and stuff like that. Those two things we kind of carried over to the design process of my tire. I knew that I wanted like a more kind of knobby tire because I grew up racing and riding trails and stuff like that. Yeah, with that, I've always really liked the Mike Aiken tire and the Ruben tire. Like when I was a teenager, like I would always have that on my bike, and with that in mind, I kind of knew I wanted something similar, but obviously didn't want to directly bite their tire. And there's like so many tires that look like the Chase D and Alex Donicky tire that I kind of wanted to like blend all of those tires together into one tire, and I think we pulled that off with my tire. Fat tires, as soon as they kind of started being a thing, from 2.25 up to 2.4 now, I've just always preferred it, and just having both tires be the same size, I think it makes the most sense. It's why there's only one size of the tire. Having the fatter tires makes landings better, makes like tire riding rails, which I don't do, easier. And it just kind of makes the bike look better in general, I think, like just having that nice fat kind of beastie look. So kind of given the environment that I'm usually riding, which is the streets, and how much like random stuff you run into, whether it's glass or nails or whatever. So we added an additional layer of resistant material to the tire, which actually helps a lot for like sidewall blowouts. If you like land sideways on a big 180 or something, or any sort of side impact to the tire, it's gonna help keep the tire on the rim for one, and prevent the tire from like literally splitting on the sides, which like in my history I've definitely had happen like too many times to count. So it's been awesome, like not even having to worry about that when I go out and ride. It's like my tire's gonna hold up to pretty much anything that I put it through. So having that kind of security in the back of my head is always like a really good thing when it comes down to needing to focus on like just getting my tricks and do what I'm out here to do, you know? Having the artwork transition from the tire to the bars was kind of like a natural decision, and worked with the timing. It didn't really make sense for us to have like this cool logo that we spent time on for the tire not be on the bars. The graphic design team at Eclat had a couple ideas to make the artwork work on the handlebars, because I didn't really want to do just like a horizontal logo across the cross tube. I wanted to do something with the actual vertical part of the bars. One of my first thoughts when it came to designing the bars was that I definitely wanted 10-inch rise. My bars actually go over this. 10-inch bars, the advantage. I had tried a couple pairs of 10-inch bars in the past, and I really liked them. I've always kind of steered towards higher bars. Once 10s came out and I actually like gave them a chance, I was like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for this entire time. I decided to experiment with a little bit of upsweep. Most bars these days are typically 1 degree upsweep. You don't really notice it. If anything, you might even feel like your bars are kind of down. And getting a little bit older, I've definitely noticed like BMX taking more of its toll on my body. So having something that kind of supports like my back and my wrists a little bit more just made the most sense to me. And we tried 3 degree upsweep with 11 degree back sweep. As soon as I rode the bars, I just kind of knew that this was what I wanted to do. Like it felt good. It's like a little bit more supportive for drops, and you just kind of have like a more stable, locked in feel, which for the kind of riding that I do, I think is like the most important. We kind of went with like a couple different like shape options for like drawings and stuff. Found like the perfect shape. Decided to go with like a really traditional look. With the stability and kind of like overall strength of these bars in mind, we decided it'd be the best option to give people the choice of the clamping diameter. And it turns out that the bigger clamping diameter actually helps a lot for strength and just having that additional material to really like lock the bars into place. I haven't actually ridden an oversized stem or bar yet, but I think that's something that we'll eventually do for my Fiend stem as it kind of like makes more sense with the market. With the additional option of having like the oversized clamping, another additional strength point that we decided to add to these bars was to have thicker tubing at all of the bends, especially above your crossbar. Because if you ever have bailed your bike and literally just seen it land on your handlebars and just kind of instantly thought to yourself like, oh no, I just bent my bars, you know, like that is not a good feeling that anyone wants to have. So having that extra strength here kind of helps to eliminate that. It's metal, so anything could bend given the right circumstances, but they're definitely going to be a little bit stronger than your average bar. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me explain a couple of my signature products. I hope it helps you with your decision to try to figure out what the next right bike part is for you. And if you're interested in hearing any more or learning anything more about Eclal products in general, head to eclalbmx.com.